visual representation of what I just articulated to you. Wow, that was a fancy sentence. Before we're in to steeper on the way down. Right, so we're in, club's looking for space, body's looking for space, he wants to get back out in front of me. That's how it does it. And then that comes in and across just slightly. I mean, it wasn't terrible, right? But just enough to where hitting it off the toe matters, right? Whereas now you're picturing me standing right there and you're feeling this thing go straight back and up. So now the hands are closer to the center of my chest. And then from there, it's gonna shallow and we can turn and find the center and smash 8 irons, 160 yards, right? Hardest thing to golf, do it again. Go here, right? So like grip pointed basically right at that belt buckle, typically like that for like a draw setup, right? Higher the hands, I like that more for like a fade bias type deal. Toe line is pretty square to the target, maybe slightly into out. That's a draw bias, right? But if I look at the shoulders are a little more open, right? The reason I could kind of tell that is I can't see any of your left arm. Yeah, exactly, right? So like we're gonna tilt the shoulders a little bit more to the right and see if that doesn't get our path moving a little bit more to the right. You're doing a really good job though. And kind of like we talked about, kind of turning that belt buckle to the target, it does get a little flat right there. So we can certainly work on that. I don't think that's priority number one. The arm structure up there is really, really nice. And it's gonna come down right on that right forearm, maybe slightly above it, but overall pretty good. But notice like we caught that one a little bit off the toe. I think if we fix the shoulders, we can clean that up a little bit. If not, we'll talk about how we transition into the downswing a little bit. But overall, we're really, really close, right? We're kind of sitting in the middle of like a capital Y, lowercase y right there, right? Like if we had more forward shaft leans, so if we put your hands here on your left leg, that would be more of a lowercase y, which would open the face, get our start line a little bit more to the right? The more the hands come to the center of the body and the less shaft lean we have, right? That shifts things more fade bias, more left. So as we set up over this golf ball, we're gonna pay attention to where your hands are. I kind of want them sit. I want that left hand sitting basically right on top of your left leg.
Okay. So a little more.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, let's do that. A little more. If I'm standing behind you right now, you're just trying to show me the crease of your left elbow. Yeah, perfect. .4. Okay. Close. I think we're gonna have to talk about how we transition this a little bit. But this is a great start, right? So again, just pretend I'm behind you. Yeah, nice. Woo! There we go. That was rip. We went from 110 to 146 on the carry there. That's what happens when we find the center of the face. Give me more of the shoulder. There you go. Nice. Yeah, that's our first key, right? It's just double the amount you think it needs to be.
Yeah, like exaggerated. Like.
Yeah. Nice. Pretty. All right, let's look at that. See if we see any differences here. Boop, boop. All right, there's our setup. You see all of that left arm right there.
Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
like that's good. Right, just starting to match our toe line now nicely. Let's draw a nice little plane line here. There's our shaft plane, shoulder plane. Slightly underneath on the way back. That's why we get a little across the line at the top. You know what I mean by across the line? So like if this is our target line, that shaft would be pointing across. Whereas if it was in line with your hands, that would be parallel. And then if the shaft was out there, that's what we call laid off, right? I prefer across the line over laid off. Because what happens when it gets laid off is it's going to steepen in transition. Here, it's going to flatten in transition. Right? Like we're going to see this thing start to, see that? All right, see how it pitched back away from you, essentially, or behind you. I prefer that, especially if we're trying to hit a drum. Okay. Here's how we're going to wrap this. Rehearsal is going to look like just a half swing back, right shoulder working underneath the left on the way down. When I go to hit it, same feeling, half swing back, right shoulder working on under the left on the way down. Good, reach in there, love it. Let's put some speed to it.
Same going half back or?
Nope, full swing. Right shoulder underneath the left in transition though. Close. Nice. Set up for me. See that alignment stick there? Start your backswing. Yeah. I don't want you to hit it
Under?
over on it, but over it is fine. Yeah. Yeah. Just rehearse it for me. I was actually closer though. You caught the tip of it at the top. Let's think about this a little different. Set up again. Start your backswing. Finish your backswing. Always the top. No.
That's weird. I think I'm gonna hit you with it.
I appreciate you not wanting to. Finish.
Higher?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Again. Same thing. Picture me standing behind you. Don't hit me. Please. And then hit it. Good. Okay, same thing. Picture me roll. There we go.
Faster. I think I feel it coming down.
There we go. Nice. I mean, that's kind of cool. 127 apex. That ball went 160 in the air. 127 feet in the air. They better be. I pay for it. So here's what I saw. Come over this side.
I can feel it going faster.
Faster?
Like, I feel the club going faster.
That wasn't necessarily the point, but I like that it's a side note. Yeah.
Well, like usually if I try and like hit it harder or get it longer, right? Like then it goes all kinds of crazy places.
Of course.
So I usually like
Generating power the wrong way is never a good inside takeaway. Right. So we've effectively like.
But this is the one going over your head?
No, this is before that.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
This is before that.
Okay.
Right before I
I'm
stood
gonna
there.
hit you in the face.
Yeah, that's why I stood there. Now you see it. Yeah. Really inside takeaway, right? So we got the hands working out, club head works in, right? And like, yeah, from a static position, we can see that's an inside takeaway, right? But what we don't see from just the still picture is the dynamic motion going with this, right? your body feels your arms and the club working behind you. So it gets really deep, like too deep, right? I know we've said get the hands on the heels there. We've overdone that.
Yeah.
And more specifically, we've done it out of sequence, right? So now with that dynamic motion, right? We're gonna go in and then over the top, but it doesn't mean that the path is gonna be super left. We're gonna slice it. But it gets steep relative to where your body is, right? So like, even though it looks really shallow right there, right?
Yeah.
It looks shallow, but we don't see the dynamic motion here, right? That club's actually banking closer to you, because when my hands get behind me, where do they go? They get closer to my body, right? So if I rotate from there, we're gonna hit the toe, right? So you're essentially drawing a big figure 8 in this direction, right? So it goes this way, down, this way, up, down, and then in, and then there's the toe. Right? So you're gonna see like clubs technically on the outside of the ball starts to bank in that way, and we catch it slightly off the toe. Even though this was a very quality shot, we obviously see we could hit it. We got better in us, right? So what we did here was just kind of reverse that motion, right? We went back steeper, down shallower, instead of back shallow, down steeper. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Visual representation of what I just articulated to you. Before we're in to steeper on the way down, right? So we're in, club's looking for space, body's looking for space, it wants to get back out in front of me. That's how it does it. And then that comes in and across just slightly. I mean, it wasn't terrible, right? But just enough to where hitting it off the toe matters, right? Whereas now you're picturing me standing right there and you're feeling this thing go straight back and up. So now the hands are closer to the center of my chest. And then from there, it's gonna shallow and we can turn and find the center and smash 8 irons, 160 yards, right? Hardest thing to go, do it again. Yeah. Yep. Go ball. Nice. This is fun, isn't it? This is fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
Puzzle pieces.
Yeah, I think I get the, like look for what the feeling is.
Good ball, maybe slightly on the heavy side, but good ball. If you were practicing this at home, on the range, in your sleep, wherever, we're taking an alignment stick and we're putting it about halfway in between our toes and the ball. We're feeling that club head stay on that side of that stick, even like that stick's extended, right?
Just pretend it's staying there the whole way.
Yeah, right? So we're feeling that club head on that side, hands stay on this side, all the way to the top of my backswing. Come. I almost want you to feel like that broom's moving like that. Yeah. All right, go back to the top again. That was perfect, but go back to the top. Because like, I could still technically sweep by getting that moving that way too much, but that feels really steep and down and left to you, right? Yeah, exactly. Perfect.